Hello and welcome to this Galleon Minute. October is the month of Halloween, so to celebrate, soldiers from U.S. Army South hosted the second annual Trunk or Treat event. Trunk or Treat is an event that gives the children of U.S. Army South the opportunity to collect candy in a safe but spooky environment. The soldiers that supported the event rigged their cars with decorations to provide that spooky Halloween atmosphere. With bounce houses, piñatas, and even a haunted house, there was much fun to have for all ages, leaving smiles on the faces of everyone in attendance. Reporting for Army South Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Joel Vazquez. Over 30 middle schoolers from the San Antonio Academy teamed up with Army South soldiers to navigate a leadership development course at Camp Bullis, San Antonio. NCOs from U.S. Army South served as chaperones and provided the fundamental instructions to ensure each student would successfully overcome each obstacle. The Army South soldiers were very passionate about mentoring the children and encouraged others to want to do the same.
This is something that you should be involved in with your friends. I mean, it's fun, it's an activity that gets the blood flow going, and it's a team building skill, you know? So I definitely preach it to them that way.
Everyone found the experience personally rewarding and are looking forward to participating together in future events. Reporting for U.S. Army South, I'm Sergeant Joel Vazquez. This is not your typical summer school. The teachers are coaches from the Italia Select Academy, here to teach these kids about the game of soccer. After the kids laced up their cleats, they headed onto the field for a day of fun and excitement. Regardless of their skill, age, or size, every child was out there not only to learn, but to have fun in the process.
Soccer is a fun, active way to get exercise. It doesn't really matter how good or bad you are. If you just keep practicing and try your best, you're always doing good.
After calling a quick timeout, the coaches sent the younger players back onto the field to finish their scrimmage game. With the game on the line, the children started getting really competitive. So much so that even the older kids standing on the sidelines began to notice. Yes, these kids were playing in the hot sun, and yes, they were getting tired, but they were having too much fun to notice. Army Sergeant Joel Vazquez, Vicenza, Italy.
Hello and welcome to the Army South News Update. I'm Sergeant John Cortez. Army South recognized Sexual Assault Awareness Month by holding different events throughout April, including a stand-down day. The stand-down day started with a morning run at Lady Bird Johnson Park in San Antonio.
I think the Army has definitely realized that sexual assault and sexual harassment is a bigger problem than we first realized. So the Army used to be more on the reactive side, but now we're on the proactive side. So they want to put the awareness out there and say, let's stop sexual assaults and harassments before they occur.
During the stand-down day, Sergeant Elizabeth Donegan of the Austin Police Department Sex Crimes Unit delivered a powerful presentation about the results of sexual crimes. Information and game booths were also set up, intended to help educate and bring awareness to this serious subject. Members of Army South have many opportunities to work with and learn from their partner nation counterparts throughout Central and South America. I traveled to Brazil, where I saw firsthand one opportunity that's for the dogs. Master Sergeant Kirby West and Staff Sergeant James Woodward are the military working dog experts for Army South. Their job is to travel throughout Central and South America to teach and learn about military working dogs with our South's partner nations. On this trip, they are in Brazil for a military working dog subject matter expert exchange.
I believe it's important so we understand the capabilities of the dogs, and then we can talk about the techniques of those, and then we build each other's programs that allow those dogs to be utilized properly, which enhances their capabilities overall.
For 4 days, the two sides discussed everything related to military working dogs, from drug and bomb detection to dog health and nutrition. Each day ended with a demonstration by the Brazil Army military and federal police.
Combat experiences in Iraq and Afghanistan gave them probably some good techniques to use when they do large events, searches such as the World Cup or the Olympics.
Soldiers from the Brazilian Army Military Police Battalion in Brasilia, along with their military working dogs, will provide security during this summer's FIFA World Cup. Anyone that's graduated from Army Basic Combat Training will most likely never forget experiencing the gas chamber. Opinions may differ, but one thing is for sure, it's an important training requirement. Specialist Vanessa Davila caught up with some R-South soldiers at Camp Bullis as they were reacquainted with the gas chamber.
This looks like an ordinary building on Camp Bullis, but it's not. It's the gas chamber. Seconds before, these soldiers from Army South's Headquarters Battalion were exposed to CS gas, more commonly referred to as tear gas. Many of them volunteered to take their protective masks off halfway through the chamber and inhale the not-so-breathable air. This may be training only, but as many soldiers know, perfect practice makes perfect.
Well, before we went in, we practiced putting on the mask. We had a time limit for that. It was 8 seconds, 9 seconds. And then we would walk through putting on the J-list, the contamination procedures or how to detect any type of contamination within the area. And then we practiced identifying what was actually contaminating the area, then taking off the J-list and into the gas chamber.
Tear gas allows soldiers to experience some of the symptoms of an attack without being harmed by the likes of dangerous nerve agents. The pain, however, is secondary to the #1 lesson.
The one thing that I would ask them to take away is confidence in their equipment, and that's what we're trying to produce here.
Over 30 soldiers went through and successfully completed training. Specialist Vanessa Davila, Camp Bullis, Texas.
Justo Dumlau is a Filipino-American World War II veteran with a very interesting tie to Army South. Mr. Dumlau celebrated his 100th birthday surrounded by his family and friends. Sergeant Joel Vazquez was there and tells us more about Mr. Dumlau's incredible life story.
Nearly 100 family members and friends gathered to pay tribute to retired First Lieutenant Justo Dumlau during his 100th birthday celebration. Mr. Dumlau was a distinguished